Okay, 50 subscribers. Well, I can't believe it. I can't imagine there'd be 50 people even in the whole world that want to listen to my ramblings. So to celebrate, I'm going to show how good this ACF50 is on these old 18th century cannons. So these are the that's it. I'm not getting any more now, but I bought a few more because I'll probably never get a chance again in my lifetime to own some of these, and it would be cool to have a broadside sort of mock-up one day in the back garden. So on that basis, and pending divorce, I've now got 6 £32 cannon artifacts. All right, they're not complete, they've been deactivated and chopped off and everything else, but what you will see is just how good this stuff is, which I really recommend. Better than WD-40 for preserving metal. The backstory is supposed to be developed by the American military, anti-corrosion Formula 50, to go on aircraft carriers and things like that, and even marine environments, to stop corrosion or to slow it down. I think it guarantees about a year once it's sprayed on and a good solid coat of it. It does do something to rust, it really does. It stops it in its tracks. You can see too that I've sprayed before and they now bead when there's water on them, and these new ones haven't been coated. The other thing I like about it is it brings a lot of detail out. So although you won't notice it straight away, in time, once this stuff has started to work its magic, you'll start seeing details perhaps you didn't notice before, because it just sort of cleans everything up. So let's have a bit of fun. 50 subscriber special. Spray these things with ACF, and then you can come and see them later on and see how it's worked its magic. So I'm trying to preserve these for the future. They're going to definitely outlast me. I think they'll outlast humanity probably, the way they're built. Unfortunately, they've lived a lot of time in a field without any protection or anything, or a coat of oil or grease, so they have weathered a bit. They've also been dug out of the ground, which I think they were used for landfill or something like that, or bollards, because they're covered in concrete. They haven't come out to sea, just to reiterate that, but they were saved by a civil engineering contractor who thought they were too good to scrap, which is great, because there would have been a time when these things would have been absolutely without interest and worthless really. But now, they are at least interesting to people like me and other like-minded folk, and I guess I've got 50 people that are interested in this sort of stuff, or at least 2 strokes. So yeah, anyway, I'll stop rambling, keep spraying. Just to give you an idea of how heavy these are, even as they are now, they're about 2 tons a piece, so that's 2,000 kilos, not old tons. Originally full size they would have been 3.5 tons, and some of them have got their, as we know from the other video, their weight carved into them, so you can get a feel for it. Unfortunately this one looks like it's been in a fire at some point. Not been fired, but actually in a fire, probably some massive bonfire on a site somewhere. There's the proofing mark, can you see? Just about see that arrow appear. That was the test proof, in a fire that's twice their normal charge. And if they survived that, they were proof marked with that arrow. So just another bit of interesting history. I know I'm repeating myself, but I do find it quite fascinating that these things were made in a time when, things like hydraulics and stuff just weren't around, So the people in the leverage they must have used, and old school methodology for handling really big heavy objects would have been quite amazing. What you'll see as well as this starts to do its magic is a lot more, you can really see the detail better once it starts to get rid of the rust and transform it into something that preserves the guns. And you start noticing things that you didn't notice before on them. But it will take a few hours or a few days to really work its magic. But its magic will happen, it definitely does work. It's about £15 a can, but well worth it. I'm told that BMW motorbike sort of workshops, they don't sell WD-40, but they only recommend this stuff for their motorbikes. So sort of sod the expense. This is the best stuff for your bike and preserving it. So spray this on it. It does I'm told, you know, there's people that preserve things with it. It does get dust and stuff stuck to it, so it can get a bit mucky, because it, like any preservative, it leaves a layer on it, which can be a bit sticky. And you know, on motorbikes and classic cars and things like that, I think it does get a bit, you know, dusty and mucky over time, but it does do a good job of preserving. So I've treated them to 2 cans, so why not? They've lasted a few hundred years. Hopefully with a coat of this, they'll last a few hundred more. Famous last words. You can see bits of concrete, but that won't matter, it'll soak into it all. I'm not going to harshly clean these up, because it would be easy to damage them. You know, it's not around sort of soda blasting them or whatever and cleaning all the muck off. You know, it's around preserving them. Hi babes, a few hours on, and you can see the ACF has done its business. It's still going to work through the next probably week or so and continue to bond with the rust and change it chemically to sort of inert it. But yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff. And that's only a few hours since the spray. And they're not orange anymore, at least, and they go a much more sort of burnished look. Yeah, I really do think it's good stuff. You know, you start to notice things a bit better. You know, brings the detail out really well. You see the 2 on that King George now. So yeah, it's a not bad value for money, really, when you think it actually does do something other than make them greasy. It actually preserves them. Famous last words.